Hi, everybody. Good Monday afternoon. It's Region Weather Meteorologist Matt Wentz here. We're going to do a little live coverage as a severe thunderstorm rolls into areas of Lake County here as we get into the early afternoon hours here on this Monday. I know we just spoke last night with our Region Weather live broadcast, so you're probably sick of hearing me, so we don't need to do the face or anything like that. Let's just get right to the radar, shall we? Hope you guys are doing well here this afternoon. Here's what we're dealing with. These are just run-of-the-mill thunderstorms. They're packing a little bit of a punch. There's no real reason. There's not a big, cold front moving in or anything like that. These are just summertime thunderstorms that are tapping into our heat and our humidity that we continue to deal with here. Yesterday, we had the lake breeze-driven showers and storms that kind of bubbled up along the lakeshore. We're seeing more of the same here. This is kind of a hybrid of a lake breeze, and we've got a bit of a boundary that's moving through Michigan, all off of that complex of storms this morning that we were talking about that was coming out of Iowa, right? That one in Iowa went to the south, went through Illinois. It was a big complex, kind of fell apart, but it put out these little waves of energy out from that. And this particular wave of energy is kicking off storms in Michigan, and we're kind of getting the trail end of that mixing with the lake breeze. So both of those things, nothing crazy here this afternoon, nothing, tornadic or anything like that I'm looking at. But some of these storms can get a little squirrely, all right? And that's what we're seeing at least move through the Chicago area. Now it's heading into areas of western Lake County right now. So we've had storms over the last couple hours in LaPorte County. We've had some really heavy rain out of that. There's some lightning as well. We've had small hail reported. Nothing severe out of that. Nothing's reached severe criteria in LaPorte County, but we're still dealing with some thunder and lightning as you get down towards the Kingsford Heights area. Kingsbury saw some really good rain, and then Kankakee, the one in the Indiana area, that one, it continues to get heavy rain as well. But the severe thunderstorm is this cell heading south out of areas of Cook County right now. We've had hail and we've had strong winds with this. This storm that we have is interacting with the lake breeze boundary. So you can kind of see the outflow boundary with the lake breeze boundary hybrid here with that line. Remember that outflow boundary is that area of wind that comes out in advance of that. Well, we've got that going on, and this storm is kind of sinking south along that, southeast. And so as we look at this storm, it's getting in areas like Hammond right now with some heavier rain. But I'm going to tell you, the worst of this storm is going to stay west of Lake County right now. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. This is the worst part of the storm right in here, and it's going to hug the western half of this polygon. For now, we'll see if this evolves. And so really what we're left with here in Lake County is some rain and some lightning, all right? Nothing too crazy, at least in the Hammond area, the Whiting area right now, even East Chicago. We don't have the worst part of this storm, all right? The worst part of the storm is just out towards the west near Dalton and Riverdale. Hammond, you're getting hit with some heavier rain right now, and there's some good lightning with this as well. This is a compact storm that continues to sink southeast, and sometimes these little compact storms can do their own things. We'll have to watch this boundary that it's on. There's a bit of a wind shift. Every now and then you can get something that spins up on that boundary, kind of like you do along a warm front. So we'll need to keep an eye on it. But the part to keep an eye on, in my mind, is this part right here. All right. And that's not in Lake County yet. In fact, I think Hammond, East Chicago, even down towards Munster and over towards Gary, Chicago International Airport, and Highland, areas like that. These areas, I think, are going to escape the worst part of the storm. You're just going to get some rain, some lightning, maybe a little bit of wind out of it. This portion right here, again, is the part that we need to watch as that sinks south. That can do some squirrely things sometimes. It doesn't mean it's going to, all right? So that's what we have right now. And again, this severe thunderstorm warning goes for about another 49 minutes or so. It is for Lake County, but not for everyone in Lake County. This is just for the northwestern portion of the county, but it does kind of come into the central portion there you see with this polygon. That does include Maryville and Cherville. Okay, St. John, you're about in this as well. Heads up in terms of where this is going. So a couple things we're going to look at with this storm as it continues to slide south. And we've got heavy rain moving into Hammond right now. We're about to get some heavier rain in the Munster area. That's probably about 5 minutes away for you. Highland, probably now the 7 minutes or so. This will eventually get into Gary with some light to moderate rain here over the next 10 minutes. But overall, what we're going to watch is this continue to sink down to the south and the east. A couple things I want to look at within this, though. Not just the reflectivity, but let's get into the wind product on this because we have had some just pockets of stronger winds with it. I'm going to kind of play this back, and you can see some of these brighter green shades that started to show up. They're very subtle, but right in here, this little area right there, we saw some brighter greens showing up, and there was some stronger wind with that on the order of 50 plus miles per hour. The Weather Service saying 60 plus mile per hour is possible with this. Right now, I'm not seeing anything too crazy, but there is a little pocket of wind that we're going to watch. And again, that is just west of our area. So that's in this part of the storm. Let me pause this here so we can kind of see where it is currently. So that area of strong wind is right in here, right in this area right here. Okay, so it's west of us. Okay. And that will continue to sink down to the south. And I'm not really too worried about Northwest Indiana in terms of the strong winds from this. All right, we're going to get some wind gusts out of this, but nothing too crazy. The other thing the storm's been producing is some hail. So we'll show you the hail radar here. We've had some pretty decent hail back towards the west, but it's a small pocket. And again, you see the bulk of it, if not all of it, is west of Lake County, and it will continue to be. Again, it's in that worst part of the storm that I circled earlier. That's really the only part of the storm I'm worried about for right now. Northwest Indiana, as of right now in Lake County, I'm not seeing too big of a storm, all right? It's just a thunderstorm that'll roll through. Worst is just off towards the west. But we do have some hail there near South Holland. This will get into Lansing here shortly, and then over towards Thornton and Glenwood, all right, on the Illinois side of things. That's what we're going to be dealing with here with this storm. But in terms of radar, I mean, it's kind of a weird-looking storm, right? We get the bulk of the storm is here, and then you have that jet stream wind. Remember yesterday we saw that like kind of the overshooting cloud tops that go way up in the atmosphere that got blown off to the east. Same thing's happening here. Here's where the growth is with the storm. And then you have this area over here where the storm kind of goes up in the sky. The jet takes it a little bit, and then you get this rain shield on the eastern side. And that's what we have right now, all right? We've got this rain shield. There's nothing severe in Lake County right now. However, this worst part of the storm near Harvey right now is packing a punch. And that part of the storm will continue to slide southeast. So if we're planning ahead, there's a couple things at play here that we need to keep an eye on. All right, right now it's tied to this lake breeze boundary that's in here. You can see the boundary kind of subtle, but it goes down towards there. So this storm is still going to be in play with that boundary here as it sinks down to the southeast. So St. John, that's where we need to start keeping an eye on this down towards Cedar Lake. We'll see if this storm holds together. If it does, you would stand a chance of getting that worst part of the storm, right? I'm not worried about Gary right now. Maryville, I'm barely worried about you in terms of severe thunderstorm warning. I know you're under the warning right now. You're getting the alert on your phone. You see the storm coming. It's ominous. I'm not worried about the severe part of the storm for you. This is the area that I'm worried about right here, and I'm not that worried about it. It's a severe thunderstorm, but it will pack a punch if it holds together. So we'll see if that continues to, push down to the south and do its thing here over the next 10 minutes or so. All right. Other than that, just some good old rain. We've got some lightning as well, so bring it indoors, whatever you've got going on. But the bulk of the storm is over towards Harvey. I want to get over towards this LaPorte County activity we have. We've had heavy rain over the last couple hours here along that same lake breeze boundary in LaPorte County. And again, it's kind of a hybrid of the lake breeze boundary and some of the activity up in Michigan right now. There's a little area of atmospheric energy going through. But this is producing heavy rain and lightning. You can see this box here. That's nothing severe. That's a special weather statement. But we've got heavier rain moving out of the Kingsford Heights area. This is getting in the extreme northeastern portion of Stark County. So Hamlet, some heavier rain, some lightning for you as this heads down to the south. This will also get into Plymouth and South Bend picking up some rain from that, albeit not much. And then you look at this storm and it's so small. You're like, oh, what a cute little storm. Well, that cute little storm's been packing a punch. And I really have a hunch that, I mean, this storm was severe, okay? It did have the severe, all the criteria for it when it was in Cook County near downtown Chicago. But I also have a hunch, I mean, we have a lot of people that live in Lake County, but we also have a ton of people that live in here, okay? So sometimes what the Weather Service will do, and rightfully so, is if a storm is just below severe limits or if it's really close to it, they'll go ahead and issue severe thunderstorm warning just to keep people's attention, right? Because there's a lot of people doing a lot of things outside. And so oftentimes that's the case where you get some of these low-end severe storms that get issued in Cook County because there's so many people, okay? For us, we'll see if they extend it or not. But the storm's still packing a punch just off towards our west. Again, that's the worst part of the storm. Hammond right now, East Chicago, Gary International Airport there. We're not dealing with anything in terms of, anything crazy. We're really not. It's just rain right now. You could probably hear the lightning, or not the lightning, but you hear the thunder from the lightning out towards the west. We have had a few strikes in this. So again, bring it indoors for this. But this is your storm right here. This is the reason why we've got the warning, okay? All right, and per what we were just talking about in terms of them issuing and advancing the severe thunderstorm warning, it looks like they've canceled it. So let's see if they have or not. Well, I don't see it on there anymore. Well, it looks like it's gone. Anyway, here's the deal. This storm isn't really worth talking about, all right? And it's not worth your time away from the office. I know you're you're probably working on, I don't know, TPS reports or something right now. Don't let this thing distract you. I'm going to let you guys go. Here's what I'm going to keep my eye on, though. This portion of the storm right here, as it heads down towards the south and the east, we'll see if it holds together. I would imagine as it gets away from this lake breeze boundary right here, okay, I would imagine as it gets away from that, it will start to weaken. One other thing we're going to have to watch as we go over the next couple hours, this is not a big severe weather day at all, okay? But what we'll have to watch, you see what's happening up here by Algonquin? All right, there's another storm popping. There's another one here by Downers Grove that looks like it's getting going. This lake breeze boundary that's here, which triggered the storms in LaPorte County, that could trigger another storm or two in our northwest Indiana counties, okay? So we'll keep an eye on that. It's humid, it's hot, it's unstable, so we can see pretty quick growth out of these. Again, this is not a big severe weather day. These are just summertime thunderstorms, some of them that got on the stronger side because it's hot and it's humid outside, okay? So for right now, we've got rain that'll sink south. Highland, Griffith, you're next. Gary, you've got some light to moderate rain coming your way. And then I'm going to keep my eye on this part of the cell right now. The wind has died down with it, so there's just some gusty wind within it. There's some heavy rain, and there's some lightning. Even that hail core's kind of gone away a little bit. All right, so hopefully that trend continues. Heads up to folks in Dyer. Heads up to folks in Cherville. This storm has a chance at holding together as it moves in, and hopefully it'll continue to weaken here. And we'll keep our eye out for other pop-ups here this afternoon, okay? All right, so that's what we're going to keep our eye on here over the next couple hours, is that lake breeze boundary might trigger a few stronger storms. I have a hunch a lot of people are going to end up dry from this, so I don't want you to waste your time this afternoon on that. But again, the reason why we were on is for that severe thunderstorm warning for Lake County. It looks like that has been allowed to expire, so that's some good news, okay? All right, so we'll talk about anything that needs to pop up here. We'll go live with that. Otherwise, just your run-of-the-mill thunderstorm that'll be getting into Lake County. This is the worst part, which isn't even in Lake County. It's out towards the west. And we'll see if that holds together. If it does, it'll head into Dyer and Cherville here shortly. But for those in Gary, Maryville, even down towards Crown Point, I am not worried about this storm. Just some rain off of that right now. And there's nothing severe in terms of this. Okay, we'll keep our eye on it. Thanks for jumping on this afternoon. I do appreciate it. We'll keep you updated right here